Here we are for Cycling Canada Wednesday night race series, race number 8 in the series. Hard to believe we've been doing this for 2 months already. Uh, so I'd just like to start off by telling you don't watch this video. Do not, please, for the love of God, for my sake, turn it off now. Spare me the misery of my shame being made public because in this race I cracked like a twig. Um, More to come on that. But for now, here we are, off the mark. What do we have in store for this race? This race was it's called the Volcano After Party. So it's going to be flat, 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 flat. Some more flat with some flats, and then straight up the volcano to finish. However, I joke about that course as being super flat, but there are going to be some obvious make and break places in this race. And for me, that's always the twisty 1% climb. And we're going to hit that 3 times over the 35K leading into the volcano. So, that's what I was expecting to be the sneaky little make or break moments in this. So we've got just about 100 riders going in. I joked before the race about, are we going to see 60 riders to the finish? But I was actually thinking we're probably going to see three splits 3 times over that long steady 1%er. And it did split the group somewhat. So just showing you the start, I'm actually going to run a lot of this race in fast forward because, as you'll see, I end up being the least interesting person in the field. But and it is a lot of rolling on flats, and so there is a lot of really exciting moments. And we've got some splits. I think 20 riders split off the start there, and we'll have some more splits along the way. But it's the climb. This course is all about who can have the legs coming into the climb. So I made a different choice for this time. I went with the Tron bike, and that was I'd been watching Chris Paulette had been talking, and he's a much much better, exponentially better rider than I am. So I listened to what he says, and he was saying that because this is 35K of flats and then 5K of climbing, that aerodynamics will matter a lot in this race. And the Tron bike isn't a terrible climbing bike either. I mean, it's only a few seconds difference off the Specialized anyway. Basically it's the most well-rounded bike. It's not the best aerodynamics. It's not the best climber. So I went with that to just give that a try. Instead of normally, if I was to pick on my own, I would have picked the really light climbing bike, the Specialized tarmac that I usually ride. So that was bike choice. Some folks who are in this race, I mean, just an incredible turnout. But in addition to all the kind of the local names that all the riders we know and love. We've also got Georgia Simmerling joining us again, the triple Olympian. And then Jen Jackson was our other pro woman who was in this race. So great to see the pro women out and getting their good winter training in with us weekend warriors. So that's great. So that's about the field. Was thinking probably we'll be seeing kind of most of these riders right through to the finish line anyway, or to the climb. And then in terms of where I was at coming into this race, so this was a Wednesday night race. On the preceding Sunday, I had done a long run on my own since we're going into lockdown here in Ontario. Our Sunday long run group decided to split up, And so, I'm bored and looking for something to do. So I did a full 30K at I don't know, something like a 5:25 pace, which ended up being a bridge too far for me. And I was quite shattered after that run. And so I skipped on Monday, I skipped my ride. I still swim in the morning. On Tuesday, I skipped my run. And then this Wednesday morning, I did do a good hard swim. I did a 2,000-meter time trial because this is going to be the last swim. So I wanted to just have like a benchmark. So then when hopefully back in the pool in February or whenever, I can kind of test myself and see what I've lost over the month. And anyway, so all that to say, the legs were a bit of a mess, even after having essentially, um, a couple days recovery from the Sunday. Apart from the swim, which I mean, you're pushing off the wall 80 times on a 2,000 meter, but that's not that shouldn't take much out of the legs. Oh yeah, so I just got to speed her up for much of this. Um, but I could just feel it. Like you just get that deep ache in the legs. That's the difference between, you're a little sore or whatever, and it's going to work out as you go. So, oh yeah, here's the first 1% climb. And so I did make sure that I was kind of near the front on this, because you never know with a group of, I think there was probably still like 75, 80 of us. You can't risk being behind a split. Um, it's going to be that stretched out. So, um, I was feeling fine in terms of pushing the watts over the hill or whatever. Like, but there was just this deep, deep ache in the legs, which doesn't bode very well. It's not that kind of ache that'll spin out after 5-10K, but it's the like there's not much left in these legs kind of thing. Um, but oddly, like I was fresh enough for all these little you know attacks that happen up these little rises and stuff. So we split off another group on here. I think we were down to, I don't know, whatever, 65 or something riders after that one. Um, but it was just that feeling of like, oh, I feel like something's gonna go bad at some point here. I was hoping it was gonna go bad somewhere on the climb, um, and not before. But oh yeah, so then there were 50. So I was keeping track on the group size. I was probably 55 actually. Um, and again, like it's easy enough on this flats that we were able to have some banter along the way, which is great. Keep the energy up in the group, and I do this like I do this racing obviously to push myself, but as much to connect with people as an extrovert. I just crave the company of humans, and so being able to have some chat and like, even just over these 8 weeks, I feel like I've made like a whole ton of new cycling friends. Names that maybe I'd seen around the province or whatever. Or, I'd seen them on like a race timing results from different categories in the Ontario racing and stuff. But folks I'd never had talked to in person or anything. So you get to connect with people on Strava, and you get to connect with people in these races and stuff like that. So it's been a great opportunity for us extroverts to feel connected to the world. So apologies if you don't like the swift banter to the rest of the pack, but I'm here for the banter as much as I am for the racing. So I feel like I'm half the time I'm the one who starts up the chat before the race, because I just want to say hey to people and have some jokes and see how everyone's doing. So second time over this 1%er here, so you can see we're stretching out. Interestingly, it didn't split as much as I thought it would be, actually. I thought we might lose like another 10, 15, 20 people. But there was no one really kind of pushing the front super hard. I think, that's the one challenge with the climb at the end of the race, is that everyone's going to sit a little bit and save themselves for that final climb. And so it's like, well, the pack is so big. If we knock off another 50 people, we're still racing 35 people up the mountain. So you don't want to be the most tired of those 35. So um, yeah, not quite as much splits along the way as I thought there might be. The other thing that man, like Swift kept bumping me out to the side of the pack. I don't know. Maybe that happens to everyone, and I'm just just a little whiny about it. But for some reason, I just feel like it just loves pushing me to the side and telling me that there's a 3 meter gap to the person ahead of me, even though I'm in like the front 10% of the pack. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if folks have tried steering. I'd be see again like through that corner, just pushing me out to the side, out to the side. I don't know. I don't know if folks have tried steering. I don't even know if these races are steering. They're probably not steering enabled anyway. But if that solves where folks are. Oh yeah, so I got a feather for near the end here. I'm gonna hang on to that definitely to the end. Um, oh yeah, like Yardley realizes partway through the race here that we gotta climb the volcano. That was my favorite comment. Um, yeah, but to be honest, like at this point, I'm like, oh no, like I just start feeling the legs are just toast. Starting to get it feels like a lactic burn, even though it's not really a lactic effort. That's kind of how I know that I'm just carrying too much in the legs. So this little gravel bit can sometimes get exciting. Like if folks push from the gravel to the wood to the gravel, because there is a lot of rolling resistance in these sections. I think I saw the chat for the A group from Chris and Luke and stuff. That's actually where A split apart. But not for us. I don't think we even lost a single person there. There are a couple of people kind of going across here, trying to make something happen. And that's just enough to speed up the group. And I start to feel the pain. So I just gotta slow her down a little bit here. And I'm just watching these people rolling by, and it's like the legs are just burning. And I knew there was like groups behind. So yeah, you drop the head. And they just hurt. And I don't want to do a lot of damage, really, because I'm doing a 300-kilometer charity ride next Saturday. So actually, I'll put some info down below for anyone who wants to support me in that. I'm doing it to support, and so yeah. By the way, group's gone. I've given up. I'm doing 2 watts per kilogram. I think it drops down to one something. um, because yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't even make it to the hill. I thought I was gonna die on the hill. I didn't get to the hill. And actually, I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna finish this race solo. You'll see, I don't even manage to do that. But anyway, 300-kilometer charity ride, raising money for a winter shelter that's been set up here in London for people experiencing homelessness. And I'll be riding January 2nd. I'll put the info down below. If you give a donation to support my ride, you get to choose a song for me to listen to, whether it's a song that you find most motivational or whether it's the most annoying song you've ever heard. You get to choose. If you donate $100, you can pick 5 songs for me. So that's how that's gonna work. So like I said, check the description. Decide if you want to help out, and then let me know if you have. Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, there's a group back behind here um, with Bauer and Simmerling and stuff. Maybe if I recover over the next little while, I'll ride up the hill with some of those folks, and then that'll be the encouragement I need to get up and over. Um, However, I was even optimistic and thinking I could even finish this thing. Um, you got to be smart sometimes. So now, basically, I'm on like a week and a half extend taper into the 300K. So I'm just basically going to do everything. I'm still going to do like my runs and rides, but I'm just going to do everything zone 1, zone 2 from now till then, so that I'm as fresh as can be. You don't want to just like do nothing for a week and a half, because then you'll just be totally flat. But you just don't want to kind of do any damage to the legs. And going into, I'm not going to race a Wednesday night before a Saturday 300K. So that's the plan going forward. So unfortunately, I'll miss this week's race coming up. I'll just be doing an easy ride on Wednesday night. Here we turn into the hill, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll just drop it to the little ring and cruise up the hill. And even that, I was like, oh God, my legs. And the people are just like flying up behind me. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to go with those guys either. And so see you later. Second pack. And I'm going to call it a quits. And I'm going to take a DNF on this one. So that's how it goes sometimes. Better luck for me in a couple weeks.